guys, Anthony here. Today I want to talk about buying your next car, specifically online and an electric car. We've purchased 2 electric cars, and it just so happened to be that we bought both of them strictly online. As you guys may know, Tesla may be going to an all online model, or at least pushing that way. And we had that experience, and then when we bought our Kia Soul EV here in Colorado, we didn't have very many options to buy an EV. So we went to a company called Carvana, and on their website we were able to get the car that fit our needs. And I kind of want to talk about both experiences and why I think Tesla's push to go strictly online is a great idea and why we think it actually works. So I just wanted to touch quickly on some of the benefits to purchasing a car online. The first benefit is no haggling with salespeople. That is huge because I don't know about you guys, but I hated going to dealerships and just being harassed when all we wanted to do was look. And then when we kind of showed some interest in a specific vehicle, it was game over at that point. The stress of making the deal set in, and it's just not always a pleasant experience. And shopping online for a car, it's just you and the computer and you looking for or configuring the car that fits you and your budget and your needs. Financing was super easy. Both websites, you just fill out the information and apply, and if you qualify, you're able to get a breakdown of what your payment will look like, what your interest rate will look like, and it's super quick and easy. And you can also organize your own financing if you want to go through your own bank or a specific bank that you like to do business with. Trade-ins, I didn't know how that was gonna go when we first bought our Kia Soul EV online. It was the first car we've ever bought online, and it was great. And both Tesla and Carvana made it super easy for us to put in our VIN number for our trade-in and give them the condition of the car, and they gave us a very, very competitive offer. Tesla even will match CarMax, which makes it even easier, and if you get a better deal, they'll match that. But both Carvana and Tesla gave us very competitive offers. Tesla beat CarMax on their offer, and we were completely happy with what we got for our trade-ins. Another benefit is the return policy. With both Tesla and Carvana, we had a week to try out the car. I know a lot of people hesitate on the idea of not test driving your car, but when you go to a dealership and you try to test drive a car, you usually only get to go around a few blocks and you don't really get to try out the car. But with having the week-long trial period where we could return the car if we didn't like it, if it didn't fit our needs, we were able to test out our charging situation to see if that was actually going to work for us. So being able to test out how you're going to charge your car every night is very vital to being a first-time EV owner. See, the last benefit that I want to touch on is the ability to find or configure the car that you want and that fits your budget. Most of the time when you're going around to a dealership, you're stuck with what they have or what's somewhat in the area that they can have shipped to you. In the past, when we've purchased cars, I've always felt like we always ended up settling for like the color we didn't want, the trim level we didn't really want, and we were at the mercy of the dealership and what they had at the time when we were looking for cars. But with going online, you can find the specific car that you want, the color, the specs, what fits in your budget, super easy, and they ship it right to your house. And with Tesla, obviously you can configure your car to your spec, what you like, what you need, and what fits your budget. So now I just wanted to walk through our experience buying the Tesla, and then after that I'm gonna briefly talk about our experience buying the Kia Soul EV through Carvana, which both were very similar. So buying the Tesla, as you may know, you go to their website and you can configure the car. And if you're like me, I've been configuring a car for probably the past 2-3 years through Tesla, and a majority of that time was spent realizing, okay, I can't afford that car. Okay, I can't afford that car, but I could always dream. And when the Standard Range Plus Model 3 came out, it was actually in reach for us. So I went on their website, configured the car that I had already configured over and over again for 3 days leading up to actually purchasing the vehicle. I made the leap and I put my deposit, and we had a 2 to 4 week estimate of delivery. And we ended up taking delivery of the car exactly 2 weeks after we placed the order, which was great. There was some weirdness with some automated scheduling that they have, where it gave us an original delivery date of 1 week after we placed our order, and that date got pushed back another 3 times until 2 weeks later when we actually took delivery. And that wasn't a big deal. It just shuffling schedules around was a little annoying, but I kind of anticipated that. We still got the car in 2 weeks, and they quoted us 2 to 4 weeks, so I couldn't really complain. So on our actual delivery day, we just took our Kia Soul EV, which we traded in. We drove that to our nearest delivery center, and they had all our paperwork ready. We signed a few papers for the trade-in, we signed a few papers for the finances, and they gave us our key cards. We set up our phones. They gave us a couple minute tutorial on a few of the things. After a few minutes, we were on our way heading home, and we've had the car for about 2 weeks now, and it's the best car we've ever had. I mean, I love the Kia Soul EV. Just having an EV is a totally different experience than having a gas car. And the Model 3 is just on another level. So all in all, the experience of purchasing the Model 3 online, picking it up, doing the trade-in, doing the finances, it was easy, it was quick. There were small hiccups with the scheduling, but we got it within the estimated time. And so we couldn't really be happier. Now quickly, just to talk about how we bought the Kia Soul EV, which was definitely a cheaper option for us to take our first steps into the EV world. We went to Carvana's website, we typed in the search bar, electric cars, and we started seeing, you know, the used Leafs, the Soul EV, there were the e-Golf, there are all kinds of electric vehicles that we didn't know much about, so we took some time to research and narrow it down, and we narrowed it down to the Kia Soul EV. We found the color we wanted, the trim we wanted, and found that they had very good prices for their used cars. So we jumped in with that, placed the order. A couple weeks later, they shipped it to our house, and they took our trade-in on the truck with them, and we had a week, just like the Tesla, to try it out, and we loved it. Now, there's one risk going with an electric car from Carvana. If you live in a state that's not a ZEV state, most of these car companies don't have service centers in their states, and Kia was one of them. We live in Colorado, and there was no service center anywhere close, not in the state. And Kia did tell us that they would help us out and figure it out if we needed to ever get the car serviced, but luckily we never had that issue. So it was always in the back of our heads like, oh God, I hope nothing goes wrong with this car. That's definitely a big reason why we went with a Tesla when the Standard Range Plus came out, because they'll service their cars anywhere that they sell them. Speaking of servicing your car, we are going to have a service on this Model 3. The second day having the car, I did get an alert about my blind spot detection being limited. We contacted Tesla, and they told us one of our cameras was showing a fault, but the error ended up going away a couple hours later. And then a few days later, the alert came back and then went away again, and everything still works. Our autopilot still works, but it's just had this alert pop up about the cameras a couple times. So we scheduled our service appointment. We actually qualified for this fix to use their mobile service, where they'll come to my house or come to my work and fix the issue. So they ordered the parts. When they come in, we're going to schedule the appointment, and I'm going to make a future video whenever that happens to show you guys the process, give you guys some insight into how that process works. But that's all I got for this video. I really hope that this helps some of you guys, at least give you a little bit of insight into purchasing a car, and hopefully alleviate some of those reservations to buying a car online. If there's anything else you can think of that you want me to make videos on with my Standard Range Plus Model 3, or just any other questions related to jumping into the EV world, please leave a comment, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.